Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Broche SSM on Autism Vancouver Studios on YouTube. If you are watching us for the first time, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel for interesting content coming your way. As usual, I'm your pilot, and my name is Autism Vancouver. So my passenger for today's show is a registered nurse, and we are going to dive into the conversation about her journey so far. But before I do the introduction, let's go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to Gigi's African Caribbean Market, your number one African market in British Columbia. So when you come to Gigi's markets, we have various food from various countries. We have food from Uganda, we have maganjo, we have matoke, and we have sweet potatoes. When you come to Ghana, we have banku maize, Ghana fufu, and Ghana more. Everything is here. When you come to Nigeria, we have pounded yam, we have agushi, we have banga oil, and various things from Nigeria. So it doesn't matter which African country you come from. When you come to Gigi's African Caribbean Market, we have all the products for you. We get you sorted. The address is 13624 108 Avenue.
Welcome back from the break. So my guest for today's show is Nana Chema from Pong, who is also known as Mama Gifty. Yeah, that's why we normally call her Mama Gifty. Nana Kwaba.
Yeah, ba.
Welcome to Autism Vancouver Studios.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So Nana, tell us, did you ever dream of becoming a nurse?
Actually, when I was in Ghana,
Yeah.
I think everybody's future is determined by their parents.
Yes.
That's something that's different from here.
Yes.
So my dad, you never go low with my dad. You know, he bets on education, even if he has to sell his properties to take care of your education. So his mandate was either I become a doctor, a lawyer, or the least a nurse.
Okay.
Nothing short of that.
Wow.
So when I was going to school, he made sure that I was doing science. I was in science, physics, chemistry, biology. There was no way I could not do it.
Wow.
So that was the thought in Ghana. And of course, I did science. I did science from primary to secondary, and yeah, I did science. So we'll talk more about that experience, but that was the three things that was in my head, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So when you moved to Canada, did you immediately start the nursing?
No. So while I was in Ghana, the plan was to apply through the nursing schools. And during my time, it wasn't easy like now, where thanks to, I'm not a politician, but when somebody does something good, any politician does something, you have to acknowledge it. So of course, with the new technology, we had a political party that actually had been able to put stuff online for people to access it. Because my time, you will have to buy the forms at the school. You have to know somebody there to push it through the school. So everything was manual. So it is time consuming. Yeah, so before I came to Canada, we were in the process of somebody helping me to get in.
To the nursing school.
To the nursing. But if it was the time that now digitalization is open, where you buy your forms at the bank, you upload your portal, I probably would have started my nursing career before I came to Canada. Because medical school was also tough. It was the same. So my dad said, instead of staying home, take your chances everywhere. Whatever comes through first is where you're going to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I came to Canada, I was not in any nursing at all. It was the back of my head, but the minute I landed at YVR, everything changes, like you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you come to Canada, see, looking back, I've been here for 31 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
And I'm a first generation. So when you come to Canada and you have family here who have the money, the capacity to put you through school. Everything is different.
Yeah.
You don't experience any challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. My mom and dad were not here. They
Yeah.
don't have a mortgage here. So I have to come and start from the beginning. So going to nursing school from the beginning here, it's not feasible. So like every new immigrant who comes in with a big dream, but the dream has to start somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
I actually came here with a big dream, but when I landed, it's not like roses.
Yeah, yeah.
So I ended up having to do manual labor job. You know, I've worked in restaurants. I've been, my first job actually was in a factory where they sew T-shirts.
Okay.
So we were the trimmers. So we trimmed the stitches of the T-shirts. I've been a dishwasher before.
Wow.
I've worked in a restaurant before.
Wow.
I've been a cleaner before. Actually, I was hired by a cleaning company where we clean people's home.
Wow.
And it's a story. I always say the immigrant journey here is so different from when you're back home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so what finally prompted you to take a decision?
Okay, so when I came, of course, I got married and then I had my son, who is now 29 years old. So
Wow.
the dream of going through nursing school or medical school was impossible because financially it is expensive.
Okay.
To go, and then even to get student loans, when you talk to people, the amount of debt you incur after you graduate was a lot.
Yes, yes.
And then, of course, married to a typical African man, we have to start our journey.
Yes, yes.
So I was not even thinking about nursing or medical school. No, I was happy with the minimum wage I was doing, actually. It took care of the bills.
Yeah.
It gives us food. Fine. And that's what everybody does. Until
yes.
one day, I worked in a restaurant, and one old man that I don't even know if he's alive, and maybe he will see Otis Vancouver's interview,
Yes,
but
sure,
I owe
definitely.
him to this. So
Wow.
he comes to me. He comes every time to eat at the restaurant that I work at.
Okay.
And anybody who has been a restaurant waiter understands that we know people who will give you tip, and we
Yeah.
know people who will
not,
not.
yeah.
So when you have older or senior waitresses, they try to put the people who will not give you tips to the new tables.
Okay.
So I always got this man. He always buys coffee. He will sit there from 9 o'clock till the time I finish.
Wow.
1 cup of coffee. And when he's going, he will leave you 1 cent.
Wow.
Okay. I was never mad at him. I was okay because in any work that I do, I'm not greedy about money.
Sure.
That's one thing about me.
Sure.
I'm open. When it comes, I'll grab it, but I'm not greedy enough to say, hey, old man, you can't sit at my table because you don't give me tip.
Yeah.
And this man has sat at the table with over 6 months.
Wow.
So one day, he looked at me and he said, Madam Gifty, you don't belong here. I'm like, oh, what are you trying to tell me? Because the first thing that comes in your mind as a black person, when somebody tells you you don't belong here, you go, are you trying to be racist or what? And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, you're too good to be here. You need to be in a place where people will appreciate you more. You have a lot of good thoughts. You can impact people's life. I want you to get out of this job and do something different. So I go, oh, what job do you want me to do? I'm happy what I'm doing. I get some tips. I'm fine. I go home.
Like you said, it was
That's it. And then he said, no, I want you to go into nursing because there are vulnerable people. You're very kind. He said, I've sat at your table for 6 months. Everybody here knows me. They keep tossing me. You have never moved me away. And he said, I want to tell you that go into nursing, be kind to people, and you will make a difference. And I think I have never looked back. Wow. Yeah, I have never looked back.
So that statement from the man,
yeah.
How did you take it?
So when he told me, I'm like, oh, that's very deep.
Yeah.
So I go, interesting. But God has a place for everybody. And this is what I want new immigrants to understand, that You might start from somewhere. It might be rough.
Yeah.
You are confused. You don't know what is happening. You know, there are days when I go to work, I don't even get tips, artist. And I come home, I'm disappointed, right? There are days that I get, I'm happy. But when this man told me this, it changed my mind. But when God has a purpose for you,
That is it.
it will come true. So I actually got pregnant with my first son at the restaurant.
Oh.
And they were very racist to me. Very, very racist to me. And I quite remember that it went to human rights court and everything. And that was the turning point in my life.
Okay.
So after the human rights court issue, the legal aid lawyer told me I didn't win the case because, and this
So you
is
had an issue with
something I have to share with every immigrant, okay? When you work, there is something called job evaluation. So your employer is supposed to every year give you an evaluation about your good work.
Yes.
And you have to sign at the bottom that you agree. So I always got feedback, very positive ones. So when I sign, always when you sign, don't leave a space between where you sign and the document.
Okay.
If there is a space between, scratch it. Scratch the space so nobody can put anything there.
Okay.
And sign below, right under. And that is something that the legal aid lawyer told me, that is why I lost my case. Because this restaurant, when they saw that they were racist to me and I had documented everything and I was going to win the case, they brought this evaluation that I did with them, and it was typed that many customers reported me. And I have my signature below. And that evaluation paper, and this is something that I want everybody, every immigrant to know. When you sign a document, please take a photocopy. You know, my time, we didn't have phone scanners for you to scan right away.
Yeah.
So you will have to take the paper to copy it as staples.
Sure.
And I didn't take a copy. That was my mistake. So when they proved that, and I didn't have my copy, they have to win. That was the evidence. So, but everything that comes your way, look at the bright side. Maybe
Yes, sure,
it
sure.
has to happen.
Yes,
Like I
yes.
always put my story into Jonah. See how Jonah was stubborn,
Yes.
and the whale swallowed him, and in the end, whatever, right? So long story short, the legal aid lawyer told me to find a different career. And he also mentioned to me that I think you should go into healthcare. You're very thorough, you're very articulated, you're very trustworthy, you're very firm. And I go, okay, this is like
So
two
this is the
times
second
now.
time.
Okay.
And you already had intentions
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go to the nursing school back in
So,
Ghana.
so I actually walked into Vancouver Career College,
Okay.
thanks to them. And I don't know if that instructor is still alive, but please pardon me, those people that have impacted my life. His name was Mr. Fang.
Okay.
I walked in there to register for my courses to go into nursing. And the receptionist looked at my big belly and go, oh,
Yeah, you were pregnant.
you're going to have a baby soon. So how can you actually enroll? But because they've been trained to be very careful about discrimination,
Sure.
she actually called the professor to come and talk to me.
Okay.
So the professor came, and I don't know whether he knows that he impacted my life. But when he saw me, he said, okay, have you done science before? I said, yeah. He said, okay, let me give you a quiz right now.
Okay.
So he gave me a quiz, which was great, you know, secondary school biology in Ghana. You know the chew and poem, don't forget, right?
Yeah.
And I aced it. So he said, oh, you can do it. Come next week. So he actually got me in the program when I was pregnant. I actually had my son when I was doing the prerequisites because I was going through evening classes. So he's one of the people that impacted my life. Yeah, so that's how my nursing journey started.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, like how it goes in Ghana, when students are supposed to go to the nursing school, at the end of the day, write a licensure exam before they are called to the registered nurse to be registered nurse in Ghana. What is the process of becoming a registered nurse in Canada?
It's similar process. So the process is the college have set standards for education, and the school has their prerequisites. So the university prerequisites, you have to meet the English maths proficiency, and in order to go into nursing, you have to have science. There's no way you can't have science and be in nursing. It doesn't happen. So some schools will take biology and chemistry. Some schools will take only biology. Totally depends on the school or college that you go to. So once you meet the prerequisites, like every school, you will apply.
Sure.
So during my time when I came, we applied through the college.
Okay.
And then the college will email you, or they will write to you through the mail, or call you if you have a phone number and say you've been accepted. Okay. The process here doesn't involve a middle person. So the difference between here and Ghana is there's no middle person that is going to do your nursing forms for you or get you into nursing school. No. Okay. It is you directly dealing with the school. Once you meet the prerequisites, there's a waiting list. Okay. So when I started nursing in Canada, it's not now that the government had made a lot of schools accept nursing students. It was very restricted to specific schools and universities. So there was a wait list. So I waited for about 6 months before I got in. Some people will wait for 1 year. You can wait 2 years if you haven't done your prerequisites. The school gives you a certain grace period that you can put your application in, do your prerequisites. But when you haven't met it, they won't bring you in. Okay. Right? So that's the difference. And then the examination, we all write an exam at the end of the program. Okay. So Canadian nursing, when I started, the minimum education that you have to go to was 3 years. Okay. The maximum is 4 years, which is a degree. Okay. So when you reach the 3-year mark, they will let you write a state exam. And when you pass, it's when you get your license. Okay. Nobody gets a nursing license without passing the state exam. And it's the same with Ghana. You have to write a state exam in order to be registered. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Interesting. The conversation is getting more interesting, but we'll have to go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to Gigi's African Caribbean Market, your #1 African market in British Columbia. So when you come to Gigi's markets, we have various food from various countries. We have food from Uganda, we have maganjo, we have matoke, and we have sweet potatoes. When you come to Ghana, we have banku maize, Ghana fufu, and Ghana more. Everything is here. When you come to Nigeria, we have pounded yam, we have agushi, we have banga oil, and various things from Nigeria. So it doesn't matter which African country you come from. When you come to Gigi's African Caribbean Market, we have all the products for you. We get you sorted. The address is 13624 108 Avenue.
Welcome back from the break. I'm still here with Nana Chema from Pong, Mama Gifty. Nana, so please tell us, now you've been able to graduate from the nursing school. How was your first day as a nurse?
Oh, actually, your first day as a nurse is not a shock because you get the opportunity to practice in the hospital. Okay. So you know everything that you are expected. I think the first day is always anxiety. You're anxious, right? Because now you think, oh my God, I'm on my own. So everything you do, you double check. Sure. But the hospital that I started working in, it was the same place I did my preceptorship. Okay. So and what is preceptorship? Preceptor is practice. Okay. So we call it consolidation practice experience. So before you graduate, you have 3 months to work in the hospital under supervision with another nurse. Okay. So they guide you in everything you do. They want to make sure what you learn and you're bringing out, you're practicing safely. Okay. And according to the standards, our code of ethics and all that. Yes, so I was very fortunate to be hired in the same hospital because when I graduated, my preceptor recommended me to my manager at the hospital, and I had a job offer right there.
Okay.
So when I graduated, I was able to go back. So it wasn't that bad at all. I was very comfortable because it was the same place, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and like I said, here we don't have a middle person who finds you a job or the government posts you to a job. No, you have to apply to all the jobs, and you get your resume and they will call you, right? So there's no middle person like paying something before somebody gets you. No.
So the experience of your first day was okay because you're already.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Yeah.
A little anxiety, but hey, it has to happen, right? Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so how different is the practice from that of Ghana as a nurse?
I haven't practiced in Ghana before. I have experienced the Ghana healthcare system as a child, and also as an adult going back to Ghana, where sometimes your family member is sick and you go with them, or you're sick.
Yeah.
Totally different. Some of the attitudes of some of the nursing there is horrible, I can say that. And I know people will be upset, but we have to say the truth.
Yeah,
because I think when people hear this as a feedback, it allows them to make changes. So when they come to another foreign country, they don't bring that attitude.
Sure.
Communication with some of the nurses is horrible. They scream at patients, they yell at them, they're rude. Well, for me, my experience, when the nurse came to me, I actually introduced myself that I'm a nurse from Canada. So you bring this attitude, I have my phone ready, right? And when they see that, they know, okay? But not everybody can talk for themselves. So totally different. I think nurses are frontline. They see you before doctors see you. So how they present you to the doctor is the key to your recovery and also to you being healed. So, but there's so much difference because like I said, the education piece, 60% is universal, but the 40% is culturally related to that country.
Okay.
What do you do safely? Like here we do indigenous culture, competency, you have to know that. How to take care of indigenous people, how to take care of East Indians. Like you need to know that culture appropriate nursing as part of our nursing. So for example, if I'm taking care of an East Indian man who has a turban on, I don't need to take it off. I need to ask permission and say, is it possible? And even though maybe I don't even have to take it off because if they don't have injury to their head,
you don't have to.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
So that is culturally respectful way of treating people, right? Versus going in and say, well, I need to see head to toe. I need to do an assessment, right? So totally different, I can tell you. But they need to learn from other countries.
Okay. So do you think supervision plays a role in the attitude of some of these nurses back home?
I think they also get practical experience. But like I said, if your preceptor is rude, that's where you're going to learn, right? Or if you work in a hospital and you have 20 nurses who are rude and they get away with it, you not being rude, it's hard for you not to be rude. One day you will be. Because sometimes there's something called learned behaviors, right? So I find that because the population or the vulnerable people don't report them, here you will be reported. So here there is a reporting line for our college. You autists can report me to the college that I treated you badly, and I can be called at the college and they can investigate. And if I did wrong, I can either go back to school for a week or 2 or 3 weeks as a punishment, or I can be suspended. Same with my organization. If you write to them and say, Nurse Gifty did this, that, and that, they will investigate. And we all know that here without a job, you're going to be homeless.
Yeah.
And in nursing, the sad part is here. When you lose your license, you can never be a nurse.
Yeah.
So it's your life on the line.
Yes, on the line.
So people are very mindful of what they do.
Okay.
I think in Ghana, it's probably the same. When you lose your license, you don't go. But maybe the system is losing a little bit. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But I can tell you that I don't think the college teaches some of these nurses to be rude. I think it's behavior, it's learned behavior from their place of work or through preceptorship or even from home. Maybe they're rude and disrespectful at home and they get away with it all the time. Some people go into nursing because it's a job. No, don't go in because it's a job. You're going to fail. Go into nursing with a passion. Even with any job, if you go in because you will do the bad thing. You won't think beyond. But who come and say, oh, I dear when I'm percent me, makoma wumua, you will be successful. So my advice to the Ghana nurses is say, media no edit to abontia. Abroching now people look at it. Ain't how come that the government will go and hire Filipino nurses or nurses from Australia and they won't hire nurses from Ghana? Because of what they hear on social media, because they are not presenting, some of them are not presenting themselves in a way that is convincing for an organization. No organization wants to buy liability.
Sure.
Even me kra mo worry, o person be kwa worry about ne ho waka. And oba ne ho wasem. Same with the organization. Here, when they sue a hospital, it's big money. Until who a bad attitude, I didn't know what's all. Hey, but the good thing is that when you come here, no, without you going through the licensing process, no, obi any obe high when they're hospital. Obe timi are your license, go through the process, and but if your attitude is bad, you will go in and come out. There have been nurses who have been suspended, have been reprimanded. African nurses here, it's not their fault because maybe they passed the exam here, but when they went in, the attitude followed them. So like I said, respect, Otis, good attitude, be empathetic, be honest. You know, those are things that every human being should have anywhere you go, even in your marriage, even if your friends, your circle, right? Okay. So that's the advice.
Nice. Okay, so what does one have to go through to transition into the Canadian nursing?
Oh, you go through, you have to go through the state registry exam board.
Okay.
They will give you the information. Now they will tell you what to do because they will assess your credentials from back home.
Okay.
And then they will tell you what to do. And some of them will say go to school for a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever, before they give you the license. So that has minimized a lot of the issues that some of these nurses would have faced, right? Yeah. Nobody will hire you here if you don't have a state registration. Okay. We have a registration number.
Oh, okay.
So when you go through them and they are comfortable, you've passed everything, they'll give you the number. And that's the number that every organization needs to be able to hire you as a registered nurse, right? Because in case of any mistake, that's the number that they can find to track you.
Sure.
And that's the number that, so that number is very significant. They don't give it to you without going through the proper channel. Yeah. Here, nothing is middle person, nothing is backdoor. Everything is straightforward. Because if the college gives you a number and you become a nurse who is a horrible nurse at the organization, when they do the investigation, they're going to ask, why did you give this nurse the number? What did they do? Check mark. So they also don't want the liability, right? And the union will ask, the employer will ask. So everything has to be check mark.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how well does nursing pay here in Canada?
The pay varies by province to province. So Alberta has their pay, BC has their pay, Ontario has their pay. And it's based on the union negotiations and probably cost of living. Alberta might pay you $40 an hour, BC might pay you $45, but hey, the cost of living here is high. Yeah. So would you rather work in Alberta and make 40 and just not pay more, or here? Our taxes in BC is high. We pay UI, union dues, parking, tax, medical, like so many things. So you make a gross income. So here the income is too. Gross is overall everything you made. Sure. Why you Juma 40 hours, Otis, you made 5,000. Okay, and then they would say that, okay, you made 5,000, we are taking UI, we are taking this, and that. When they take the taxes, UI and everything, you come home with 3,000. That's your net income. Yeah. That gross, the government would take that income, 2,000 out. Yeah. You have your net income, Otis. Right after your net income, you're paying your bills, rent, accommodation, you name it all, right? How much Hanaka will sell? 0, right? So sometimes the higher you make, the more money you pay. Here you have to be on the high income bracket to be always floating there, because the maximum tax maybe the government can tax anybody is maybe 40%. So even if you make 1 million a month, you can only be taxed 40%. Okay. But see, if you make 500,000 and they tax you 40%, you and the person making the 1 million, who is richer?
Definitely the one.
That's it. Yeah. So when you're top there, that's why the top people stay there, Otis. They're always there. When you're between and 0, it's harder to go through that bridge. So that's why here some people rather not even worry about going through higher pay jobs. They rather do simple pay jobs and not even stress themselves about pay. Because government will also take at the end of the year, right? So when you scabby, they take it. So It totally depends on what you want to do. And here I always say, how do you manage your finances? How do you live, right? You need to live modestly. You need to use common sense here.
Okay.
I call it common sense about finance. Because for me, I told you my nursing journey wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It was financially stretched to the max. So
Yeah.
I actually learned a lot
Lots.
from that experience, how to manage my money. I don't go and buy new clothes when I don't have food in my home, when I haven't paid my bills. Because when I buy that clothes and my bill, I don't pay my bill, I won't have phone to talk. I
Sure.
won't have hydro.
Sure.
So what is that new clothes going to do for me? So I make sure I do all that. And then at the end, when I have extra, and I always say, okay, at the end of the cry, it will go on sale. Why don't I buy something on sale rather than buying expensive? So
Okay.
it totally depends on how you want to manage your finances here. But I tell you here, it's not easy. BC, quite expensive.
So would you say the pay one takes as a nurse is rewarding? Would you say?
I think we get underpaid. I have to be quite honest.
Yeah, looking at what you do.
The work that we do as nurses and the challenges we face, we are underpaid. And some people might say, what? You make $40, $50 an hour. No, the $50 is a paper. That $50, $20 is going to benefits, government taxes and stuff. So I actually make $30 an hour. And I'm paying my rent. I'm paying everything. At the end of the year, the government is going to look at the $50 an hour overall that I made and say, okay, I'll take this, I'll take that. You still have to give me $5,000, right? I have actually known some nurses who quit nursing and went to different jobs. They get paid more and work less.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to mention those jobs, but it is there. Some people make more money than being a nurse.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
And there's no questions about that, right? Because as a new nurse, you work shift work, you're working long hours, sometimes you're working overtime that you don't even want to work. Because overtime money is not worth it. The government is going to take almost 30% of your overtime money. You wear and tear your body, right? So people rather sometimes go to soft jobs where they get paid more than... I mean, for me, I love nursing. It was my passion. So I don't look at money. I look at what is comfortable. But if I wanted to do something different from nursing, like followed my friends, I would have been able to do that.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So with all this explanation, what should inspire one to decide to be a nurse?
I think you have to have the passion. See, when you don't have the passion for any job, don't go in. Some jobs, you don't have the passion for it, you go in, you can. But nursing, if you don't have the passion, it's going to show in your character.
Yeah.
So like some of the Ghanaian nurses that I've been saying are rude, they don't communicate well, they're disrespectful. Maybe they went in for the money. Because in Ghana, when you're a nurse, it's respectful, you get a stable job, whatever. No, you have to have the passion. You have to be very patient, okay? Very empathetic. You have to be trustworthy, reliable. Here, the weather is not easy here.
Sure.
So in Ghana, when it rains, people don't go to work. Here, you will have to rain or shine unless the employer say don't come. So you have to have the passion because the job is heavy. You're dealing with people who are sick, vulnerable, but not all of them are nice. Right? Some of them are worse when they are sick. And you're going to deal with the worst piece. So when you don't have the passion for that job, your character is going to show. Here, when you make a mistake, they will report you to the college. It doesn't matter whether they are wrong. It's you, the professional. You have to hold yourself up because they don't want you to disgrace the nursing profession. So you will be out of a job, right? And because people know that when you're out of a job, you lose everything. They are very careful. In nursing, actually, when they take your license, you can't be a nurse anymore. You're done. You have to go into a different profession. Yeah. There's no second chances. When they suspend you, they might give you a chance. But when they tell you, we find you liable and you're also, unfortunately, we're taking your license, you will waste all the education, all your experience. You will have to do something else.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And what is the retiring age?
Oh, retiring age right now for every organization is 60 years. It doesn't matter nursing or anything. It used to be 55, early retirement, and now early retirement is 60. So you can work till 60 and retire. The good thing about nursing now, currently, is you can come back casual. So if you want to work just to keep yourself busy, you can. But people can work till 65.
Okay.
After 65, then in nursing, some of the areas, 65, they will tell you, please go, because it's a wear and tear physically, mentally, emotionally. And when you're aging, it's difficult as well, right? So people's choices. But I mean, personally, my goal for me is if I can retire early and just do something casual, or it's something that I like to do, because I don't want to work all my nursing till 65. It gets, but totally depends on circumstance and financial. We don't know what the future holds, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Nana, what would be your advice for any person who wants to get into nursing, or a nurse who is thinking of moving to Canada? What would be your advice?
Anybody getting into nursing, if you're here already, of course, it's seamless. You go to the schools, you check their nursing education website, what is required, do it. When you're outside Ghana and you are a nurse already and you want to come to Canada, you have to go to the website depending on where you want to go. If it's Ontario, if it's Alberta, if it's BC, go to the registration site for these provinces, nursing association site, and look at what is there.
Okay.
The requirement for international trained nurses. BC, they've laid it clear. If you have any questions, you can call them or email them. They will send you in the information. Of course, you can migrate. Now, immigration, you know, is tight. Employer has to sponsor you from back home before you come. The employers barely sponsor you directly from Ghana. They will sponsor you when you're in Australia, UK, US, whatever. So if you get an employer sponsoring directly from Ghana, you still come in and you can work as a nurse. You will have to go through the transition of the registration and process, right? Yeah, if your husband or your wife is here and you're a nurse and you're coming, you're a landed immigrant, when you come, because you have studies, the first thing is to contact the college, get all the information you need, start your prerequisites, maybe a year or a year and a half or two, you will be able to get your registered nurse's license and work. But you can work as a care aide or home support worker. Some private organizations will hire you, not as a nurse, but maybe a care aide or something, right? But I will say, make sure you get in the system right away, because it's time and process.
Now, good. Now, people are doing 6 months courses and colleges, and after that, they get to work in health centers like care, like you mentioned. How different is that from registered nurses?
Yeah, so a registered nurse is a nurse who is registered. So you have a license, you're mandated, just like the doctors. We have a union, we have a college that mandates our practice. So registered nurses are higher level than care aides and LPNs. So when you come into the nursing hierarchy, we have registered nurses, we have licensed practical nurses, we have care aides. Under care aides, we have acute care aid and residential care aides. So residential care aides now, even though when I came to Canada, the course was just 4 weeks. Just to, because you are the ones that help bathe older people and all that. And nobody, Obi in Chelsea, right? So what is, that was, but now they've increased the level of the length. So you can be a care aide. The care aide also now have a registry. They don't have a licensed body per se, but they have a registry where if you make a mistake, somebody can report you there too, right? But that is a lower paid job under nursing. And then you have the LPN, which is now almost 2 years to finish, which if a nurse is not there, an LPN can take over, but not 100%. So let's say we're doing percentage. RN is 100%. LPN is 80%. Care aid is like 60 or 50%. That's how we go by. So the level of education varies. So if you're an RN now, it's a 4-year mandate degree. LPN is a 2-year. Care aid is up to 6 months.
Okay, so let's say I don't have the money to pay for nursing school. Can I use the care aid as a route to become?
So they've now incorporated a pathway. So before, it wasn't there as now. Now they have a pathway. So if you can go into nursing directly, you can do a care aid, and then you can do LPN. And some of the colleges have transitioned from LPN to RN. So they credit you for some of the courses, and then you go. But regardless, if you want to be an RN, you have to have your sciences, right? Whereas some care aid programs doesn't require science. If you want to be a nurse, that's your goal, you need to get into your biology, anatomy, and physiology. You have to, it's a must.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even if I have had my care aid certificate,
No.
I can't
You
use that.
can't be a nurse, no.
Oh.
You will have to go through the nursing process. So
Okay.
some people will do LPN where they will upgrade a little bit and then upgrade again to be a nurse. The nursing requirements are set in stone. It's set by the college, the license body. You cannot bypass the requirements for the school. You have to meet it because everybody has to be treated the same, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And it's because of liability, because in case liability or anything happens, they look at your background.
Sure.
Did you graduate from a reputable school? Did you do the courses that were required? So that's a process, yeah.
Nice, nice. Nana, your final words. What would be your advice for the young person who is thinking of getting into nursing?
Well, my advice is if you have the passion for it, go for it. Nursing is rewarding. It's a job that gives you stability. It's respectable. You know, it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know, anywhere you go with nursing, right now, if I move to Abeda or wherever I want to go, all what I need to do is show my license number. They will give me a test, make sure that everything is okay, and I'm in the system, right? If you don't have the passion for nursing, don't go. It's stressful. It can be very difficult when you don't like the job.
Yeah.
Because you're meeting people who, some of them are sick and they are worse when they are sick.
Sure.
You have to have the patience to be able to manage them. So if you don't have the passion, what are you doing there? Your behavior will show. Here, when you are rude, you practice unsafely, you harm somebody, they're going to report you to the employer, your college, and your union. You're out of a job forever, right? So if you don't have the passion and you don't like it, don't go in. It's not by force. Nursing is not for everybody. But if you do, I think you should look at the colleges that offer it, get in, because it is very rewarding. I won't look back. I think looking back in my nursing career right now for over 20 plus years, I will never look back. I think I did the right thing. It has opened a lot of opportunities for me. There's so much opportunity in nursing. Like, you don't have to be a bedside nurse. You can be a nurse researcher, a teacher. You can work in a clinic. You can do so many things in nursing. There's that opportunity there, right? But you have to start. You see my point? So that's my advice. Don't stay home idle. Do something with your life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't stay home idle. Do something with your life. Thank you very much, Nana, for coming. And ladies and gentlemen, I was here with Nana Chema Frimpong, who is also known as Mama Gifty. And in fact, we've been educated very well with regards to anything that has to do with nursing. And we really appreciate your time, Nana. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So until the next one, we shall meet.
All right.
Bye-bye.